What's up, guys? It's Deemer class here. Welcome back to our First Class Lacrosse YouTube channel. Today we're going to be going through an in-season shooting workout. I'm trying to get back in shape and play in Sunday League, and I know you all are right in the thick of your season, so I'm excited to take you through a couple different shooting drills and just some things to be thinking about when you're in season, as well as just trying to get into a great shooting workout and make sure that you stay sharp. So excited that you're here with me, and we'll get right into it. All right, so a couple things that we'll kind of get into before we get into the workout. One, gonna make sure I hit a good dynamic stretch. Got to make sure you're staying loose. Two, I just wanted to show you guys what kind of setup I'm using with my stick, as well as gloves and helmet. We'll start with the helmet. Just want to shout out Jerry Raganese at Pro Athletics, as well as the team at Cascade Maverick for hooking me up with this. We've had this for a couple years. You can see the decals with the FCL logo. It's my favorite helmet to wear, best helmet in the game, hands down, and excited to rock it today. I'm still wearing these Maverick gloves from my time playing with the Chaos. And for the stick, I'm back to my favorite setup, the all black East Coast dies. You can see this is a focus shaft. It's worn down, no logo even exists. I've got the ECD Rebel Offense, and then all black pocket. I believe this is Hero 2, but I'd have to ask Greg about that. But I always felt like every time I switched in season to an all black stick, that was when some of my best games happened. So a little superstitious, but I also just love the look, and this thing's been broken in for about a year and a half right now. So excited to dig in. And then last thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna get a little light music going. Obviously, you guys got to hear me talking through the workout, but I love to jam out when I'm out shooting. I got my JBL boombox speaker here. If you've been to a FCL or Best in Class event, you know that that thing is rocking and rolling. And then today, we're gonna throw on the Army Lacrosse 2023 warm-up tape. Shout out to this guy, Neon Lights. They put together a pretty good mix. And check out the link in the bio and the description if you want to check out this playlist. It's one of my favorites. I love mixes. You never know what song's coming on next unless you listen to it a bunch. So we'll let this thing go, and we'll get right into it. All right, so just get a quick dynamic. I've been warming up for a bit before we started the video, but again, just got to make sure we get loose. I'm getting older too, so I'm not as young as I used to be. So one thing that I can tell you guys is that having played 7 seasons professionally, those were really the first seasons that some of them I started to deal with a serious injury. I went through sports hernia surgery in 2020, and I had that groin injury for 2 years leading up to it. So a lot of rehab, and I think that's a very common injury in our sport, as well as back injuries as well. And what happens is a lot of us try to get a ton of shots and tons of reps, but we go out there and we don't get enough of a warm-up. And then sometimes we also just tend to overdo it because we want to work hard, we want to get shots up, and we want to feel good. So my advice to you guys, and I'm not going to overbore you with some of those things to be doing on this video, but make sure that you're putting more and more time into your warm-up and your recovery, because you can't help your team if you're hurt. And it's something that you don't want to wait until the injury pops up to be proactive about taking care of your body. And quite frankly, as this sport gets more competitive and more people are trying to play at the highest levels and extend their careers beyond college, every advantage you can get matters. So how you eat, how you sleep, how you take care of your body, how you work on your core strength, how you work on activating your glutes, stuff like that, it's going to make a difference. So if you're looking for more exercises about that, happy to be in touch. Also, make sure you're checking out some of your sports physical therapists, because there's a lot of them out there that are doing great stuff. So it's important to supplement what you're doing in the weight room, and then making sure that you're doing the stuff you need to make sure your body feels good, leading into your workouts and leading into the season, and staying healthy throughout the year. So today's workout's going to be a little different than the post-practice shooting routine. If you haven't checked that video out, make sure you check it out. That's about 3 to 5 drills that you can be doing after practice and very routine oriented. But a lot of times when I shoot too, I like to really try to visualize myself on the field, visualize the spots that I'm shooting in, visualize the spots that my coaches are putting me in based on the offense, as well as just getting out and getting in different spots that I want to get to, you know, when I was playing more competitively. And that's something that you guys have to think about for yourself and visualize and get out in the field. So we're going to do a couple things regarding the answer move and the answer series. We're going to do a split load series. So a couple things to get going there. I'm going to have a different style warm up today, and then we're going to kind of see what the rest takes us. We're going to work on a deceptive up the hash shot that I really like right now. Some on the run hitches that I think you guys should be working on. But otherwise, if anything else comes up, you'll see it in the video. Excited to dig in. So sometimes before even getting into any drills, I just like to start getting my body warm with a couple shots. So right now, all we're going to do is from, you know, dead center around 10 yards, we're going to get some step downs. We're going to work on, you know, build that into some back pedal, into a shot, change different release points, righty, lefty, and just really get warm. All right, so now as we start to get warm, now we're going to get some back pedals going and get my feet moving a bit more, get into some of those time and room shots. So one of the things I like thinking about even with that back pedal into the shot is that really simulates fading or drifting off ball. It's a huge shot that we need to be able to get comfortable shooting. And one of the other things with it is that when you start to back pedal, your body is moving to the sideline or to the end line, and it's easy for that front leg to open up too much and step wide of the cage. So when you're drifting and you work on some of that footwork, even if it's by yourself, you could practice getting your body closed, make sure you're stepping to your target, and then driving through. So even as you're getting warmed up, that's a simple one, that backpedal shooting drill to just get comfortable getting closed and get into it. This next one here, we're going to take it right into split and load shooting, and very similar to our layup drill that we've showed you a lot in our videos. And now the split and load is working on a simple hand exchange, loading up, and then getting into a shot on the run. And we're going to get a couple drills here. They're going to build on that series. Split load to a time and room, split load to an on the run shot, and then split load roll to then get that shot out off of the rollback. So something that, as I transition from the split load into a time and room, and transition from that into split and load into the on the run, something that again is a focus for both is making sure that you punch your top hand across your chest so you can get that stick into loaded position faster. Now, one thing I struggle with there and just had to continue to get the feel for is I felt like I was punching my stick across, but then on the run, taking an extra cradle or two and taking longer to get the ball out of my stick. So my last couple of reps felt better, but that's something I was trying to self-assess and identify. When I punch through and I get loaded, can I still try to get the ball out in 3 steps? It's easier when you're closer, but it's something to just think about with your rhythm and getting the ball out of your stick sooner with a split and load. Now, split and load is not your normal split dodge. You got to think about it more as the ball is swinging to you and you're attacking a recovery. So you're getting it on the back side. The quicker you can catch, split, load up to get one of those shots off, the more effective you're going to be, because you're going to get it off before someone can recover and approach and get out to your hands. Now I'm going to take it to the other side. I'm going to go split, load, roll back. I'm going to work on my lefty rollback because, again, that's a shot that I work to get. It's not something that I try to do. You know, when I play more competitively, I don't try to get it back to my right hand that much, right? So I'm going to focus on my strength here, split, load, roll to get off my lefty shot. All right, we go last one, best one here. All right. One thing I was mentioning in the beginning of the video was starting to visualize things on the field and not be so stuck to a routine sometimes when you're training. So there, in the midst of that split load roll, I wanted to work on a couple hesitation and rocker moves and just see how that felt. And again, it's just part of exploring and trying to find different moves and things that you can be thinking about. So felt like it was decent. It might take a little longer for me to split, carry for a couple more steps, sell the rocker, and then go. But again, you just got to keep trying things, keep mixing things up. And so much of this is a feel thing when you go and you train. So don't be afraid to veer from your routines. You don't have to be so rigid all the time when you're mixing it up and training. One thing I do want to show you guys before we move on, when it comes to that split, load, and roll, make sure that when you split load, that you keep your eyes up on the net and you even look to sell your shot, because then that might get that defender to bite, and then you can break into your roll, snap your eyes around quickly, and now you're right into your shot. So there's just a couple keys there that you can focus on with that split load, look, roll back, and then you're balanced and everything step into your target. Now we're going to transition a little bit here. Again, we talked about getting shots off from different spots on the field and the spots that you're going to be in the games, but don't be afraid to work on moves and play a more positionless style as well. So what we're going to do here, we're just going to get a couple moves coming up the hash, and then we're going to work on a deceptive shot. And I want to give a shout out to Joey Spallina on this shot, because I know this is something that he works on a lot when he's coming up the field and he's starting to shoot that up the hash around his defender, lifting eyes, shoulder, and chest up, and then driving that ball low is a way to freeze that goalie and keep that goalie high. So he executed it great in one of the games early in his freshman season. And we're just going to work on a few here, being deceptive coming up the hash as you drive that ball low. We could do both. Okay. Yeah. So as you go through your workout, you might be thinking like, how many shots should I shoot? I would say in season, if you can get out for 15 to 20 minutes after your practices, 2-3 days a week, you could probably get up a good 30, 40 to 50 shots and not overtax yourself. If you find yourself not playing as much as some of the starters, maybe you could push yourself more, but no one can go 7 days a week. So you gotta make sure that you're building in some of that rest and recovery time, and how much you sprint and run full speed dodges into your shots can vary based on what you've been doing in practice. So just keep that in mind as you're going. I like, for a lot of these drills, shooting anywhere from 5 to 10 to 15 shots. And if you feel like there's one that you need to spend more time on, do it. Again, don't be so married to the routine. But there's also an element too where you want to get in your different work. So don't make sure that you don't spend 50 shots on one shot that's just not falling that day. Get to your other stuff as well so that you can continue to build throughout the season. There's a lot of different ways to shoot that up the hash shot. So that's just one that I've been seeing more in the game, and I think you should be spending time on it. Now we're gonna to kind of finish up here, we're gonna work on some wing dodging and some answer moves coming from the wing. Now, back in probably 2018, 2019, we first started really posting about the answer move, and it took off. It was a craze. But you have to remember why it's important and why people do it. The goal of the answer move is, one, to get your stick back to your strong hand, because your percentages are gonna be up when you get that ball back to your strong hand. Two, it's all about also getting your stick back to the middle of the field. If I'm dodging from this wing, this side of the field, and I settle for those alley shots with my outside hand, my percentages are just going down. It's a fact. If I can get my stick back to the middle, that's where that answer move comes into play, and your shooting percentages are gonna be going up, all right? So that's why the answer move is key. Now, there's a lot of different ways to set it up, but you gotta make sure that you're selling that top side, and you can think about backpedaling and stepping back. You can think about flipping your hips to get that shot off, and it's just something that you have to explore. And what it does is it also sets up defenders approaching to get to your hands, and then you can answer and face dodge. You can answer and hitch. And that's where we're gonna go through a few of those combinations today as we finish up this shooting workout. So we'll start with just a couple answer moves. We're gonna attack, step back, shot. Then we're gonna try to split more into our answer, and then we're gonna build from there. And again, all I'm doing here, I'm not really making a move, but I'm getting comfortable attacking top side and just carrying, planting, and creating the space on the step back. All right, so now we're gonna add the split. So I'm gonna work on my two-step split, my right, left, and then pull it back to now get that guy to step top side, and then get into my answer move. This is where getting closed really comes into play. That last one, I felt like I really opened up. I snapped my hands early, pulled that ball high. Now I'm gonna try to get more closed, drive through it, and make that simple adjustment. Better. So now let's build into the answer, step back, face dodge. Bait that defender, getting to your wind up, and then tuck through, finish getting underneath. So now, if you're still with me, I want you to take 15 seconds and watch the CJ Kirst face dodge rollback.
They feel he's about to get going and become another factor from that Cornell midfield. He's played a little first midfield, a little second midfield. Kirst left hand free, and a first quarter hat trick for CJ Kirst. Goal number 30 on the season.
Wow. This one, there's the fire, there's the passion, okay?
Here comes Kirst. He's got 5 goals. Give him a sock trick.
The way that CJ uses his change of speed here is a really sick way to sell like you're committing underneath and then roll back top side. And that's our face dodge and roll back. Now, imagine he did that here with the wind up, with the threat of the answer. So all you would have to do is instead of being here and then committing and sinking into the roll, when you step back, you simply wind up, then you tuck, and then now when you feel that defender's hips committing, that's when you can break and get back top side. Those are gonna be the last couple of shots of our workout here. Let's get into it. I had you on that last one because you were thinking I was going to face dodge and roll back after the wind up, but put that little rocker step on and hesitation, kept going to get underneath on my strong hand. The more you study the game, the more you come out, visualize your moves, they're going to happen for you. Got to try them in practice, got to keep getting a feel for it, and really hope that you enjoyed today's in-season shooting workout. Comment if you have any questions below. Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for more high school highlights, drills, tips, and more. And check out everything FCL leading into the summer. Thanks for watching.